Hello and welcome to the training on how to measure base and trim. We're also going to be talking about accents and uh, patterns and that kind of thing here. It seems pretty simple to measure, and it really is. The reason we want to discuss it on a training is that because most people don't realize that the trim and base pieces and putting accents and patterns and that kind of thing can drastically up the cost of your project. Now these kinds of things really add the finishing touches to a tile job. So you shouldn't forego adding these things to your project. You should just know up front that when you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or any other DIY home store, they're going to show you the field tile. That's the tile, that's in the middle of your job, the normal everyday tile that you're putting in. They may show that at 89 cents, a buck, $2 a square foot, what have you, but they don't really seem to emphasize the cost of the accents, base, and trim pieces. So there's always kind of a sticker shock when you have a contractor come out and you've put in a lot of patterns, you've got a lot of trim, cove base, that kind of thing. Well, you're thinking in your mind, wow, 89 cents a square foot, I can do all kinds of things. Well, again, that's why you need to have a customized on-site bid done to get a final bid, because again, these rather small elements can add huge cost. All right, so we're looking at the measure tab on the tile estimizer. Of course, you'll just enter in the lengths in the calculator on the base tab and the trim on the trim tab. When we're talking about patterns and accents, we only have, since they can be so varied, there's only a little checkbox to put here. So keep in mind, again, the more complex that you get, the more that this is really not going to be reflected in your true bid. Just food for thought. Okay, so let's take a look at some actual designs here. This is just a very small, kind of a standard bathroom with a walk-in shower. Here we're looking at the floor plan. So this door here is reflected on this elevation. Whenever you hear the term elevation, regarding blueprints, the elevation is kind of, you're looking at it as if you were standing here looking at the wall back this way. So it's showing you the height of what that wall looks like. So in this diagram, we actually only have 3 elevations. We're looking at the door and the walls looking this way. So this is the shower wall here. This is the door here, and then this is what we call a wainscot, which is a half wall, somewhere between 36 and 42 inches normally. We don't see this wall coming back this way. If we're looking back this way, that would be this elevation. This is the toilet looking on this way, and the vanity. It's not cabinetry, it's an open one. And then the shower wall looking back this way, and then this is the glass door showing us this way. Anyway, so we've got to, one thing again to keep in mind with trim and tile is that the trim pieces, again, can be 2, 3, or more times the expense of not just in materials but in time. Your tile guy, as he gets going, he set up his layout and he knows where, a good tile setter is always going to know where their last piece is going to be, what size it is and what it's going to look like before he starts his job. So he's done his layout and he can just go baby go and start laying all this tile all the way to the ceiling. If he has to stop, let's say at 72 inches, 6 feet, and put trim pieces, not only does that slow his labor down, but again, those trim pieces going all the way around the shower, if you can imagine that, would probably be more than if he were just to tile all the way to the ceiling. So keep that in mind. A lot of people think that they're saving money by stopping a foot or 2 foot from the ceiling and then putting trim pieces, it actually costs them more to do that than if they were to go all the way to the ceiling. Now, if it's part of your design to have it go all the way to the ceiling, then that's fine. Just food for thought. Because here's what we see here in this wainscot. They've stopped. This looks like a a 32 or 36 inch wainscot. It doesn't really show us here if this is a tile. This could be a wood trim piece, but if it's a tile bullnose, it goes all the way. We're assuming that it goes all the way around this bathroom. Doesn't really show us too much in detail in this this plan, but you could vary the costs of what that's gonna what that'll cost you. Again, you have to weigh value versus design versus what you're going to have to live with, because again, tile's going to be there for a long time. You really want to get something that that you like, but as always, cost has to be a consideration. Let's take a look at another one. They're calling this a traditional bathroom, and looks a little old-fashioned to me, but okay. So we see several things here, several elements. We've got an accent stripe in the floor, looks like maybe a 3x6 or a 2x6 accent. We've got ceramic base all the way around, probably coved. Then on top of that, looks like that same piece of trim that goes all the way around. Then we have a 3x6 brick pattern tile. Here we have, and so this is a 36. It tells us a 36 to 42 inch wainscot. Again, the shower to 72 inches with bullnose trim pieces all the way around. In this instance, for if it were my bathroom, I might stick with the wainscot, but I definitely would tile all the way to the ceiling, because again, this tile pattern, we have an outside corner that's mitered here. Normally we would probably put a corner piece that has been specially poured or molded for corner pieces, but this one's been mitered, and an inside corner that's been mitered, we can see here. But it'd probably be cheaper to go all the way to the ceiling for our tub surround and then have our wainscot. So again, just keep in mind when you're planning your tile projects that tile base and trim are going to be usually 2 to 3 times what the square footage price is of the field tile. And again, the field tile would be this tile here, this tile here. If we go back to our other drawing, the field tile in the case of the wall would be the 3x6. This would be the accent. Same thing. We've got 6x6 inch tiles on the floor. We have an accent, so the field tiles are 6x6. This really looks like a 2x6 to me accent. When you put in these accents, again, it really makes the room pop, but it also makes the wallet pop. So be aware of that, and don't get shell shock when you discuss that with your professional estimator when they come out to do your customized on-site bid. Okay, that should do it for the training on base, trim, and accents. We hope you learned something, and we appreciate your time, and we'll see you up on the other trainings. Thank you.